Hello everyone! Welcome to the English world. So let us continue our discussion about the feature writing part 3. So other functions of features. As part of its entertainment function, features often first profile people. Profile people who make the news, explain events that move or shape the news, then analyze what is happening in the world or in the community. So, teach an audience how to do something, suggest better ways to live, examine trends, narrate a personal experience, a tragedy or a success story that inspires. Then tickle readers through humor and witticism. Then comment on social, political, and cultural issues. Then pointers to consider about feature stories. So the primary function of a feature story is to entertain. It may also to inform or instruct or advise, but it must above all relate to man's inner feelings. As a feature story or soft news deals with interesting matters. Literary devices can be used to capture the interest and the heart of the reader. Tips on feature writing. So first, be sure that your feature article is credible. Although a feature is not written with 5 W's and 1 H, it should, however, be based on fact and reality. So the feature writing or the feature article is different from the news, wherein the news requires the 5 W's and the 1 H. So the 5 W's, these are the who, when, where, what, then the how. So enliven your feature with relevant anecdotes or episodes. So in a personal experience write-up, use the first person I. You may also use the second person you. May use the second person you when writing for emphasis, especially if you want the reader to relate to the story. So you need to use quotations in the early part of the article. So quotations or dialogues lend credibility and set the mood or atmosphere of the story. Make your ideas concrete by using imagery or figures of speech that the readers will understand. Avoid highbrow language, otherwise you will not be communicating effectively. So when we say highbrow, these are the words that are hard to get the meaning. So very highfalutin words that the reader can't understand what you are trying to say. So keep your paragraph short and snappy. In writing informative features, be sure to include some human interest articles. The most important part of a feature story are the opening and closing paragraphs. If possible, put a linkage between the two. Dramatize if necessary. So a feature article is not necessarily too lengthy, but it is short and snappy. Qualities of a good feature writer: be inquisitive, eager to learn, sympathetic towards other people's feelings, and capable of going beneath the surface. Types of feature stories. News feature story. This is usually based on a recent event. Several news features have been written about the failed December 1, 1989 coup d'etat, or the July 16, 1990 killer earthquake, or the Mount Pinatubo, Mount Mayon eruptions and aftermath. So the first type of feature story is the news feature story that is based on a recent event. Next, informative feature. Here, the emphasis is on the information with the element of human interest or entertainment only secondary. Usually, this feature is based on interview or taken from research materials. Some topics falling under this category are drug menace, unemployment problem, and current issues. So from the word itself, informative feature, it gives an information about a certain problem or a current issues. Then the third is a how to feature article. So another type of information story, the purpose of which is to explain a process or how a certain product is made. This should be in style and smooth language. So a how to feature article. So this article needs a step-by-step procedure about how a certain thing is being done. Then, the personality sketch or the profile. People are interested in people, especially with people who have attained celebrity status. In this type of article, you reveal the character of the subject by recounting the way he talks or acts or what others think of him. So, from the word itself, the personality of a certain person, because we all know that people are interested in their or in other people. Then, personal experience. It's an unusual experience usually written in the first person. So, a very touching example of this is the one written by advertising and PR executive Charlie Agatep, whose wife Mary was brutally murdered a month before Christmas of 1990. Human interest story. This type of story basically to the emotion. It has little news value or not at all, but it is readable because of its interesting style and human interest appeal. So, human interest story. So, humorous feature. If one of the more important functions of a feature story is to entertain, then nothing entertains more than a story with wit and humor. It is said that to write a humorous or witty article is much more difficult than to write a human interest piece. So that is all about humorous feature. Then trend story. A trend story examines people, things, or organizations that are having an impact on society. Trend stories are popular because people are excited to read or hear about the latest fads. So, the trend story. News analysis, also called a backgrounder, adds meaning to current developments by explaining their significance and their effect on society and the country. These articles contain relevant data or backgrounders that would give the reader an idea on how the development would impact their lives. Investigative feature. This type of feature story is usually written by an enterprising journalist who has the guts to dig deeper into some controversial issues. Stories about militant killings and disappearances and other violations of human rights would fall under this category, the investigative feature. Next, the inspirational feature. This kind of feature inspires other people and is usually about the values of hard work, dedication, determination, and the capacity to hurdle obstacles in pursuing a dream. This also stresses the importance of education and a positive outlook, as well as faith in oneself in order to succeed in life. The inspirational feature. So the examples of news features. So here's the example. Manila, Philippines, respect the mountain and do not tempt fate. This was the message of a veteran climber who has come the rugged and treacherous terrain of Mount Mayon at least 600 times since 1941. Now, 77 years old Ricardo D. gave the sage advice to everyone, including tourist guides who might be considering a trek up the volcano to experience rumblings up close. So, we will continue this on my part 4 of my feature writing. That would be all for today. Goodbye!